Good afternoon, children, and welcome back. Last class we studied about the kingdom Monera, right? So today you're going to learn about kingdom Protista. You know, kingdom Protista includes all unicellular organisms, isn't it? And also they are eukaryotes. Okay. Now these Protistants are further divided into the following classes, right? And they are the chrysophytes, the dinoflagellates, the euglenoids, the slime molds, and protozoans. What are they? Again repeated: chrysophytes, the dinoflagellates, euglenoids, slime molds, and protozoans. Clear? And you know, all the Protistants are aquatic, either marine or freshwater living. Clear? Now let us see each of these classes in details. The chrysophytes. They are found in freshwater as well as marine environment. And it includes the diatoms and the golden algae, which is the desmids. What are they? It includes the diatoms and the desmids or the golden algae. Okay, and you know these are the photosynthetic. That is, these are single-celled organism, and they are found completely floating on the surface of the oceans and the freshwater bodies, and they are green in color, which means they have chlorophyll. Okay, and they can synthesize. They are the chief producers of the oceans and this marine environment. Clear? They are the chief producers, which means they can produce the food for the entire living organisms of the marine ecosystem. Clear? Okay. Now, why they are called as diatoms? You know, they are unicellular organisms. Okay, but their cell wall has silica in it. They have silica, and they are indestructible, which means they cannot be destroyed. Okay, and the deposition of these cell walls or the shells, the silical cell walls of these diatoms over millions of years forms the diatomaceous earth below the oceans or below the marine ecosystems, or underneath or ocean beneath there is soil, right, which is formed of the shells of this diatoms. Okay, and it is used in, because of its silical nature, its rough nature, it is used in filtration, it is used in polishing and things. Okay, right. Next is the dinoflagellates. As the name says, dinoflagellates, which means they have two flagellas, one present longitudinally and the other present transversely in the cell wall plates. Okay, right. And they also are photosynthetic, which means they have this chlorophyll. Besides this chlorophyll, they have also got some other colored pigments like the red pigment and blue pigment, blue-green pigment, like that. Okay, and this red tides in some seas is because of the multiplication of the red algae. The rapid multiplication of these red algae causes this red tides, right? And this also, as they multiply, they also produce toxins, which is very harmful for the other living organisms. Clear? Okay. Now the euglenoids. The example for euglenoids is euglena, and you know they are also photosynthetic. They have this green pigment. Okay, and they also have this flagella, one long flagella and a short flagella, which is present in transversely located. Okay, right. And they are also completely freshwater. They are completely freshwater, which means they are found in ponds and other local water bodies. Okay. Now this organism, these euglenoids, they are photosynthetic, you know that, right? But during night, or when there is absence of sunlight, they can also behave as heterotrophs, that is by preying on other minute organisms. Okay, they can act as heterotrophs also. Okay, right. One of the special feature of these euglenoids is that the cell wall is made up of a protein rich layer. The cell wall has a protein rich layer called pellicle, which makes this body flexible. Right. Okay, that's a special thing about this euglenoid. Otherwise, they can be placed in some other category, right? In the first category, the diatom category, they can be placed. Next is the slime molds. Now, the first three categories, that is euglenoids, dinoflagellates, and diatoms, are photosynthetic, right? But the next two categories are heterotrophic. They are either saprophytes or parasites. Okay, right. Now the slime molds are found they are not found in water bodies, but they are always found where shallow water places. Okay, right. Okay, and these grow. They are saprophytes, you know that they move along twigs and other decaying matter. They consume these decaying matter, and consume the organic matter in these decaying matter. Under unfavorable conditions, children, they form an aggregation called as plasmodium. They form an aggregation, a collection, a group called as plasmodium, right? And also during unfavorable conditions, these plasmodium differentiates to form fruiting bodies which produce spores. See this one, spores, right? These fruiting bodies, this plasmodium produces fruiting bodies which bear spores. Right, and these spores are dispersed by wind. They can survive for many years, and when they get favorable conditions, they germinate to form this slime molds. They can survive harsh conditions. They have very thick cell walls. Okay, right. And the last of the protistans is the protozoans. Right. Protozoans. Now these protozoans they are completely freshwater living organisms, children. Okay, and these can be again of four types, which are the amoeboid protozoans. Amoeba-like organisms belong to this one. The flagellated protozoans, the ciliated protozoans, and the sporozoans. Clear? What are the types of protozoans, children? Amoeboid, ciliated, flagellated, and sporozoans. Okay, right. Now coming to amoeboid protozoans. The best example for amoeboid protozoans is amoeba. That is, these are classified into these four types because of the presence of these organelles which help them to move, or cell structures which help them to move. Right. In amoeba, what is the organelle for movement? Yes, it is the pseudopodia or the false feet. Okay. from the body they project protruding structures which are called as pseudopodia or false feet. Okay, right. And that is why these are amoeboid protozoans, right? Flagellated protozoans. Flagellated protozoans, example, Trypanosoma. What is this Trypanosoma? Have you heard of a Trypanosoma somewhere in 9th standard or so? Yeah, it causes the sleeping sickness in human beings. It looks like euglena and it has got one long flagella. The organ which helps in, not organ, the structure which help in movement is the flagella, a single long flagella. Right, Trypanosoma. Right, and this Trypanosoma is parasitic. What is this heterotrophic mode of nutrition in them? They are parasitic, which is present in the human beings, in the blood of human beings, and causes sleeping sickness. Okay. Next comes the ciliated protozoans. As the name says, these organisms has got many number of small hair-like structures which are called as cilia. Right. For the best example is paramecium. Okay. And it has, what is the use of this cilia in this paramecium? It helps to move as well as with their movement, the ciliary movement, the water is pushed towards the gullet, which is the opening of the mouth of this organism. Okay, the water along with food and other materials pass inside this paramecium. Clear? Okay, so this the organ for movement is cilia. So they are called as ciliated protozoans. Clear? Next comes the sporozoans. What is the sporozoans, children? Here there is no organ for movement and things. It is named because of the presence of spore-like forms or spore-like stage in their life cycle. For example, Plasmodium, which causes malaria in human beings. This Plasmodium has two hosts, right? You know that. What are the two hosts? The mosquito and human being. Okay. Now when it bites us, when it bites human beings, it enters our body as sporozoite. Okay. Right. It travels to many areas in our body and it transforms and produces many stages. Okay. Right. When it is again bit by a mosquito, and it is when the mosquito bites to another person, it is transferred to another person. That is what I am saying is, in this Plasmodium, it has many life cycles, many stages in life cycle, and one of the stages is a spore-like form. That is why the name Sporozoans. Clear, children? Okay. That is with the end of this Protistans. Okay. Right.